We're 11-4. Let's go. One of the hottest teams right now in the National Football League. We can only play our schedule. We can only play our game. Everybody else can be angry and upset. They can continue to move the goalposts. They can continue to be the naysayers out there. But I come here to tell you, we ain't folded up like lock wallets or lawn chairs. Let's keep that real. Let's be real about that one, huh? Let's go. Yeah. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Come on, mama, there go that man again. Spitting so much facts. So much facts out there. All the haters, do me a huge favor. Why don't you lean forward? Yeah, right there. Let's go. Shout out to all of the Cowboys, real ones. You're a real one. Let me see real one in the chat. Let me see those fire emojis while you're at it. All the haters. Come on. Shout out to D-Long, the tankster. Huh? Let's go. Yo. Come on. It's one time for your mind, baby. Come on. Come on. Hey. Oh. Come on, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate you guys for jumping in. Like I said, the name is Law Nation. We talk Cowboys, sports talk, and football and beyond. Now, if you already seen this 11-4, just comment 11-4. If you already saw that we were going to be 11-4, so this is nothing new to you. You already know. You're like, Law, we're going to be 11-4, man. I don't know what they talking about, but we're going to be 11-4 right now. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. You know, this week, shooting off real quickly. It's Monday. Victory Monday, by the way. Shout out to those who watched my earlier video. Shout out to those who rocked with me for both episodes yesterday. I mean, it was fantastic, man. It was very fantastic to see you guys rocking with me and giving me all of the love and adulations. And as we began to head into this week, a lot of naysayers. They keep moving the goalposts. They keep saying, well, Cowboys are such and such against this opponent. Dak Prescott record is only this against that opponent. We don't make the schedules. We just play the teams that's in front of us, right? And so far, the Cowboys conference record is 9-1. Now, one can argue that the conference record should be 10-0. Law, you have any evidence on that? Yeah, a missed field goal kick, a PI called at the right time for the right team, huh? Tommy Boy Wonder, you know what I'm saying? Let the AI speak.
What up, Law? Victory Monday, flexed bicep, smirking face, trophy.
No doubt, no doubt. No doubt to that. And look, Jessica already said 12-4 is coming. It's coming. It's right around the corner. I mean, Stephen A. Smith is MIA. Yeah. I mean, the dude, he's not even there. I was waiting to hear his words, his thoughts, his mind. Get up, Daddy Longleg. Yeah, get him up, First time watching live. Shout out to you, Kenneth. Appreciate you. If this is your first time watching, just type 1 in the chat to let me know if it's your first time watching the nation live. So as the room fill up, we were talking about, getting on the same pace, rhythm, figuring things out. And as I was looking at the game over and over again, having my trusted notes over here. Now that's how you sandbag. Lord, what are you saying? Well, this is how you sandbag. I mean, good grief. Motion before the snap. Oh, my goodness. Ran when you're supposed to ran. 108 yards on the ground. It's not a lot of gaudy numbers, but it's when you run that counts, right? You don't have to have 300 yards rushing, nor do you have to have 400 yards passing. But you have to keep the oppositions on their toes. You have to, shout out to you, Gerald. Appreciate you, Fitzgerald, appreciate you. First time watching. Keep the opposition off kilter. You don't have to tell your enemy everything. Tell them a little things. Lead them. If you're young, close your ears. You can use this one if you're young. I would rather write this down. One of the greatest presidents of all time for the United States of America, Lincoln. He said, I would rather have them inside the tent pissing out versus outside the tent pissing in. That goes a long way when you read and you understand what he's really saying about that. This is chess, not checkers. Keep the opposition off kilter. Keep the opposition guessing. Keep them unbalanced. And what we saw in this particular game, it wasn't a mad scientist going on. No. Execution was better this game. But what we were able to see, Cowboy Nation, was this right here. Cover 2, cover 4. We run it. We take advantage of it. We gash him. We hit him underneath. Dak Prescott, 1, 2, 3. The ball is out. But what if it's incomplete? No. I'm trusting what I'm seeing. And what happened else with that? The front 5. The offensive line. The game is won and lost down in the trenches. And you must be able to defeat and win that particular part of the battle. You must. And the pundits and the naysayers will say that's against the Washington team or the Washington football team. Show of hands, Cowboy Nation. How many Paynes are out there in the league? Or how many Jonathan Allens are out there in the league? You don't play against those boys every Sunday. And the Cowboys manhandled those boys. Regardless of how you look at it, Cowboy Nation, those guys get big checks. Those Bama boys, nobody to sneeze at. But we had the enemy confused and they was fighting themselves. That is what persistence do. That is what, when you have your mind together, that is what you're supposed to do. Take advantages of that situation and have them fighting themselves. I believe during the game, I said, I want the bench first. No, I want the bench. I don't want to sit on the bench. That's what they really was fighting about. You put your hand in my face. But that's what we supposed to do. right? And I get it. They'll continue to move the goalposts because the Cowboys, we the sweet spot that everybody want to hit on, right? We the darling child. You know what I'm saying? We are the rating go-getter. But one thing that, and shout out to my guy Not So Fast, and shout out to some more people who commented about, hey, Law, do you think that the lack of the official callings were a major point of the game? You know what? As I sit back and wonder, rub my beard here and there and think about the game, I wouldn't mind for all of the NFL teams to be officiated like they just officiated this last game. Not only because we won, no, but when you don't call for every little thing, we know this is a contact sport. You know, officials could be trigger happy when I believe one of our players hit the quarterback, hit him right in the center of the chest. I think it was Neil. They could have been trigger happy and say, flag him. It could be trigger happy on the top of the route. There's contact in football, Cowboy Nation. And at the top of the route, you're supposed to get physical a little bit. Matter of fact, if I'm coaching DBs and they're not physical at the top of the route, I don't even want them. If I'm coaching the wide receivers and they're not giving me business at the top, I don't want them on my team. You're supposed to get physical there. But that is a subjective call in its natural stage of anything. At the top of the route, we can call it just like a touch foul in every game of basketball. But the NFL need to go and rewatch this tape and say, that is how you're supposed to officiate. Now we don't have to worry about all of the, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? Because if you go both ways, you can still be both ways, Cowboy Nation. Yep. Victory Monday. Appreciate you, Sheila Neal. Oh, Sheila. Yeah. Never want to see those Thanksgiving refs again, and it's a king. Yeah, I mean, good grief. We've seen since that Thanksgiving game, we've seen different cases and scenarios where it's face guard and what have you want to call it or what have you, and then no flag been called, right? RJ, appreciate you. Defense win championships. I agree. Shout out to you, Sam. Thank you for the 200 stars over there. Thank you, everybody. David, thank you. Pittman, appreciate you. Maria. Didn't you know you won something, Pittman? I think you won something the other day.
They say the Packers are the team to beat in the NFC. If so, we in good shape. They can't stop this offense. And this late night hype hoodie fitting nice. Fire.
Appreciate you, RJ. Appreciate you so much. Late night hype. Hoodie fit nice. Appreciate you. That means you bought one of those late night hypes. Shout out to my guys, man. Big Game James and Skywalker. We were one of the guys that started this semi-functional talk between us three. You had Sky, who was more of an analytical guy. And you had, and that was his rookie year, getting into the scenes over here on the YouTube world. And then you had Big Game James, fiery guy. You know what I'm saying? And me, I'm just all everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But we had a great time with those guys with the late night hype. And now it's the final word, and it's Big Game James is still Boss Cowboy and the OC, and we bring in special guests from here and there. The final word, the late night hype, the round table, all of those things, man. Boy, it's growing, baby. And the NFC East round table. I mean, I look back at that video. It's at 41 or 44,000 views now. Of everybody chiming in, talking about Louis T. He was speaking from his gut, right? And his chest. But now, I don't know if he's all right. I hope all is well with Louis T. And shout out to Lord Bronson and as well as Bad Dog over there for the Giants and Lord Bronson for the Eagles. He's representing those guys. let's listen to some of the audio so we can correct some of these guys. Appreciate you. Let's see what we got over here. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Thank everybody for being part of this episode. Hold on, let me play this audio because I got to get this out real quick. And then we listen to John Stephen Jones. Boy, victory, this feel good. Look, talking about that punch that didn't land. Let's listen to this guy right here.
Getting demolished like that and your parents are fighting each other? I don't like to say stuff about coaches. I sit up here, I swallow a lot of what I know. And a lot of what I know is what I'm starting to see right now. That's why this team is awful. Because nobody corrects things. We sit here, we want to pacify people, we want to act as if everything is good. You're not good when you're sitting at 6-9. You're not good when you start at 2-6. You're not good when you get embarrassed like that. And why the hell do we have these benches with heat things for them in a damn stadium? It is the dumbest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. We took them to Philly, we lost. We took them to Dallas, they embarrassed us. That if we take those to another stadium, we have to be the laughingstock of the damn NFL.
In honor of what they should do to those benches, we just got to give a tribute to all of the people that ever sat on those benches. Imitated but never duplicated, baby. What's wrong with those boys? Look, the Cowboys always have a brilliant plan, an ideal, and all of a sudden, other teams try to duplicate what we do and imitate. And you know, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations whereas we can look right back at it and say, hey, don't y'all use that company no more. The stocks was up. Now the stocks of that company went down for those benches. But let's listen to John Stephen Jones. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. This was an excerpt from them, and I want to be able to play this one right here. Hold on. Biting all style, Nick. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, the math is done. It's officially clinched. How excited are you to be the NFC East champions?
Well, we're certainly. It was on the top of one of the top of the goals list in terms of what we needed to accomplish this year, and that was the first box you check. And you know, it's hard to win in this league, very difficult, and you know, to go out and win the NFC East and you know do it. You know, basically, I guess we mathematically clinched it. With 3 games to play, but
no doubt.
You know, obviously we went out and took care of business. I think it shows you where this team's head is in terms of what they want to accomplish this year. The NFC East is great, but there's we know we got to finish strong. Certainly, if we finish strong, we're going to give ourselves an opportunity to climb in the seeding business, if you will. And you know, if things were to fall right, you never know. You could get a first-round bye, but. We just have to take one game at a time. Got a very obviously talented Arizona Cardinals team coming in who's hit a few bumps in the last couple of games, but you know they were basically playing at the highest level in the NFL for the first half to 3/4 of the season. So we'll have our work cut out for us. They need this win. We certainly need it as well. So it'll be almost like playoff football, if you will. So. We're motivated to continue to peak at the right time to get, all our ducks in a row, and here we come.
All right, so John Stephen Jones was talking about peaking at the right moment and a majority of the season. Yes, the Cards been one of the hottest teams in the National Football League. Just spectacular from a team that's balanced with quarterback play, wide receiver play, running back play. On the defensive side of the coin, man, Buda Baker, man, he's no one to sneeze at. I love the way that kid plays. And Chandler Jones, man, right now, since entering the league, the NFL, no one have more sacks than him, and he just been one of those guys that been an enforcer out there. So, yeah, we will have our homework ready and available to us, but we can't, like I said in the title, we don't create our schedule, right? And I believe the Eagles gifted the Cards a wonderful tight end, by the way. So they well equipped, by the way. So this is not a give me game. And of course, to me, this is not we should swallow our pride. No, we continue to let people know when they come over here to Dallas, we're going to bring forth our best. It's time to go get them. Oh, and can somebody, they asked the young Murray kid at the start of the season, I think it was from one of those magazine shoots, how did he feel about the Cowboys? And he said, man, the Cowboys are ASS. They always been. They suck. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that the Cowboys defense, I know one person would do it. And his name is Randy Gregory. Oh, my goodness. He's a savage at heart, right? And he's petty. That will be the guy. Somebody send that message to Randy, and he will deliver. That Randy, boy, he ain't nobody to play with out there. Send what Kyle Murray said about the Cowboys to Randy.
Stephen, was it a relief to see the way that this offense played last night after the way that it played the previous 6 weeks?
You know, it's more than anything, it was just satisfying to see those guys all, get out there together, execute, and, get their continuity right, get Dak working well with all aspects of the offense, whether it was the receivers, the running backs, the tight end, and even steal the tackle. So, it was great to see everybody in sync. Obviously, Kellen did a great job with the play calling. I think they were ready to go, and certainly a shot of confidence in their arm as we move forward. And just knowing that we could play at that level because we have this year, to see it come out was certainly happy for the offensive side of the ball to see them have that type of success.
How exciting was it to see an offensive lineman score a receiving touchdown?
Jerry's an old ex-offensive guard.
I know.
So that hold him down. I mean, he was fired up. He said, "Where was that play when I was in college?" But what a neat deal. This guy, Steele, just all he does is take care of business week in and week out.
Some glory hole.
And certainly great. I know the team responded in a big way for him, and we're fired up to see him do that. It looked pretty natural for him out there catching that ball. And,
it did.
Great to see him score, and see one of those offensive linemen get on the scoreboard was great.
I think that what you were able to see out of Terrence Steele, I can't wait for the all 22 to come out so I can break it down. You seeing a guy with good feet work. You see a guy that's quick and agile and athletic to be a tackle in the National Football League. And I presume to say this right here, that I would like to see more of it. Whereas you line him up and then you have Schultz next to him. Schultz stay back to kick inside the block and then you still run him out. Or you still have him to pivot and block and then you have Schultz running out. Or sprinkles. That is the way this team should be using plays in the red zone. Now, when you're sandbagging a little bit and you don't want to showcase everything, you don't present that, right? You don't showcase that. But I come here to tell all of y'all beautiful people that I'm quite sure that the Cowboys got more tricks up their sleeves. I think a couple of years back, and I don't know if he still do it now, it was Travis Frederick and Zach Martin. They would run routes. They would run plays right before the game. To warm up, they would run like they catch it. Was it more Travis Frederick or was it Zach Martin? Y'all help me out with that. Because I think Zach Martin can go too. And I think that the Cowboys can disguise a scheme to get Zach out there. What you mean? Law, you got one of the better guards in the National Football League, and he's running routes. Figure out a way. It was more Travis Frederick. Shout out to y'all. Okay. Yeah, it was more Travis Frederick then. Okay. I thought it was Martin running it, but it was more Travis. Travis got some hands. Shout out to Travis. I bet you Travis looking at the TV like, man, hey, I may have to come back and do a couple of plays.
I'm curious, take me through the Dan Quinn hire. What went into it? When did you know that he was the right guy for the job? Just take me through kind of the whole decision-making process on Dan Quinn.
Yeah. Take us down there.
Well, I just think, certainly Jerry and I had been having our own conversations, knowing that we were probably going to be having this conversation with Mike as we were winding down the year. And certainly his name came up. I serve on the competition committee with Rich McKay, who knows him well in terms of, being with him in Atlanta. And, felt like we could make the right and have the right conversations if that was the direction we're going. And certainly Jerry and I just smiled ear to ear when we sat down with Mike for the first time. And, Mike said, hey, we're going to need to make a change at defensive coordinator. He said, top of my list is Dan Quinn. And, it was just like it was meant to be because certainly we were fired up about it. And, Dan was actually on the list. But he ended up didn't know if he was going to stay in Atlanta or not, but he did. And he was on the list as well of coaches we might want to interview if he, if he did get released from Atlanta, but they kept him. So, he's somebody who's been on the radar a little bit around here, but, just a great opportunity. And, he was fired up. He obviously, he can speak for himself, but I think he had a plethora of opportunities, if you will.
Did he drop a nugget there? Did y'all hear that? And I ain't trying to be conspiracy law, and I'm not trying to get rid of Mike McCarthy. But let me rewind a little bit. Let me just rewind just a little bit, because what he was saying is that the year that they wanted to interview coaches for that new spot, Atlanta kept Dan Quinn for that one more year. I think it was like the year that, last year or what have you. That is something that is something to really digest. And I'm not being conspiracy law, but let me make sure, because it's my first time listening to this interview. So let me rewind a little bit and listen closely.
He was on the list as well.
Hold on. Y'all bear with me. If y'all have to go anywhere, y'all can just chill with me.
It was just like it was meant to be because certainly we were fired up about it. And, Dan was actually on the list, but he ended up didn't know if he was going to stay in Atlanta or not, but he did. And,
he did.
He was on the list as well of coaches we might want to interview if he did get released from Atlanta, but they kept him. So, he's somebody who's been on the radar a little bit around here. But, just a great opportunity. And, he was fired up. He obviously, he can speak for himself, but I think he had a plethora of opportunities, if you will, to kind of pick his spot. And he was fired up about our place and what he could do here with Coach McCarthy. But it was just a great hire by Mike. And certainly he's made a big difference.
He did.
In terms of the way we're playing defense this year. And, we got a lot of guys who are playing on the defense this year that were on a very, on a defense last year that struggled quite a bit, but back playing at a high level, and, give Dan credit for that. But the other thing is just, really his communication skills with Will, Jerry, and myself in terms of, what type of player he needs, and Coach McCarthy, what kind of player he needs to have success with. And we were able to go out and, get some nice pickups in free agency. And then certainly with the defensive heavy draft, we're able to draft guys who've stepped up this year and made a difference.
Now, I have to say this, Cowboy Nation, sometimes less is more. And I ain't talking about Kellen Moore, but I'm talking about less is more, meaning that Mike McCarthy, by him not having the full menu, we may see better coaching out of him, right? Dan Quinn, by him not having the full menu, we may see better coaching out of him, meaning that Mike McCarthy, although he said, hey, I'm going to hush when it's time for me to call plays or what have you, and that's just always a land of mystery, right? We still know that Kellen Moore, I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, everything, all is forgiven because we beat the you-know-what out of Washington football team, but there are some things that he still probably have to go through and learn, right? And Dan Quinn, instead of him being the head coach, which I believe if it was a situation, whereas if it was Dan Quinn versus Mike McCarthy, during that interview, what would be very interesting, I think that the Cowboys probably would have went with Dan Quinn because of Kellen Moore, but that's a story of a different day. But when we look at everything, the way we are really looking at Dan Quinn and on how he turned everything around is because I believe less is more. When you go back and watch the pick six by DeMarcus Lawrence, it's on my Twitter page. Shout out to John Machota or Michael Gelkin. One of those guys got a picture of him, celebrating the celebratory moment. And I just took the picture right here and cropped it. And that love and adulation that he have on his face about what DeMarcus Lawrence were able to exhibit and exude out there goes a long way. But I don't think that his focus and attention would be such a laser-pointed focus like he is now on the defensive side of the coin if he had all of the hats. Because remember, when you are the head coach, you're the creme de la creme. You got to be responsible for the special teams, of course, the offense, and then you also have to be responsible for the defense. You have to make sure that they getting everything in order. You will also have to be the counsel of the GM. You have to tell the GM, hey, I really like this player. I really don't like this player. Hey, this guy's begging for money. This guy's begging for snaps. As the head coach, you got to fire people. You got to make sure that your cup of coffee is right. And you got to do all of these freaking interviews, right? Mandatory stuff, the small things. But now that he is the defensive coordinator, the DC, matter of fact, instead of calling him Dan Quinn, call him Defensive Quinn. You know what I'm saying? The DQ position. That's what he is. The head defensive Quinn in charge. Because what he brings to the table, Cowboy Nation, is focus attention on the individual players. Just go back and watch my training camp tape or go to thecowboys.com and watch him. Look at the photos. He's working out individually with Osa. He worked out individually with Gallimore, Big Bo, Brett Urban when he was here. Everybody on that front, he had his fingerprints all over him. D-Law, Randy Gregory, Papa Rob Marinelli didn't have the time to do that when he was here. All we got from Papa Rob Marinelli is a yelling and he got banned. He got banned. That's all we heard and saw from Papa Rob Marinelli. But this guy with his hat to the back, with the glasses on, lasered in, and focus in, even running the bleachers. I saw him running the bleachers. He got the mentality of saying that, dog it, if you need to get it out of the mud, I can get it out of the mud. I'm going to put the helmet on. I don't need to pass because y'all ain't going to hit me. Y'all ain't foolish enough. But I'm going to show you and put the helmet on because I don't want y'all to mess up my face. And he will run the individual drills out there. That's what Dan Quinn is bringing to the table. And when you look, what's the old saying, Cowboy Nation? What's the old saying? You give a child a fish, you feed them for a day. But, baby, if you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. Let me know if I'm wrong. He's teaching. He's not giving nobody nothing. Coach DQ is teaching the Quinn philosophy. That's going to go over a lot of people's head. Papa Rob Marinelli was just giving. I'm going to give you a nickname. You're the golden cock. I'm going to give you a nickname. You're the bear or whatever. I'm going to give you a nickname. You're a rushing lizard or running lizard. Run like fire. But no, it's Quinn. If Dan Quinn would have got his hands on Robert Quinn, instead of you bending off of the edge like this, I'm going to bend you and teach you the reason why you put your hand here. The reason why you got to chop to disengage, sink your hips, and flip around to the edge. Because this is where you need to be. Oh, and I'm going to show you how to contain well. I'm going to show you, D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence, how to kick and slide inside and use the ground as a force when you push up and get off to stay low inside and redirect. Oh, my gosh. He's teaching the previous coaches, and I'm not throwing any shade at them, was given. What round you were drafted in? Oh, I'm going to slide you in. I'm going to give you this position. What you like to do, I'm going to give this spot to you. And this guy's teaching.
You know, I know we talk a lot about Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, obviously both being now, it looks like, per the betting odds, top 3 candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. We talk about DeMarcus Lawrence. We talk about Randy Gregory. I was kind of hoping you could tell us about the impact of Jaron Kearse specifically, because not always the flashiest, but it feels like he's always involved in some sort of impactful play week after week.
Well, there was a great vision for him, and that's when, I go back to that communication, really having a lot of great communication skills with Will and our scouting staff and Jerry and myself and Coach McCarthy, as to what type of players, you feel like you need this day and time to be successful on defense in the NFL. Certainly a lot of teams have focused on tight ends and the mismatches they can bring to the table. And, you see a lot of them getting drafted high, and
right.
Kearse with his length and his coverage skills and his athletic ability really fit that mold. And, he's really come in and played a quasi/safety/ stand-type linebacker who's able to stay in on coverage because of his coverage skills and can go in there and compete with these tight end mismatches as well as, some of these bigger, longer, heavier receivers that we go against as well. So, he's really played that role to the nines. And certainly I think this day and time very important to have in terms of your matchups with opposing offenses.
That J-Rock, baby. Shout to you 24/7, Cowboy. You're right, Law. Being a defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys ain't the same as Seattle or Atlanta. This is more historic story franchise, and Dan knew this when he signed for the job. Round of applause to that. Yeah, I mean, this franchise right here, I go back to my guy saying, Okoye, accumulating knowledge over years of experience or existence. Would you rather be a king for a day or a prince for a lifetime? That goes a long way. Cowboy Nation, that goes a long way when you dissect that and you break it down. That is the responsibility or the luxury that you get, not necessarily responsibility, but the credence that you get when you affiliate yourself with the Dallas Cowboys. Anything you do, you can go to any of these NBC, Fox, any of those networks post-career, what have you, and get a job just like that? Because you're affiliated with the Cowboys. And then don't you win no Super Bowl. Ooh. Shoot.
With Stephen Jones here, the Executive Vice President and Director of Player Personnel. And in that job, Stephen, you sort of have to navigate, both dynamics of the here and the now, but then also looking at the future of this franchise and the future direction and landscape. So you have to sort of balance those two things at once, the here and the now with the future. And so I'm going to ask you this question about the future at left tackle. You've got a future Hall of Famer there who's still playing at an extremely high level, but does have injury issues and has been able to finish out a season over the last 5 years. So how do you, as you evaluate the future of the left tackle position, how do you weigh that with the guy you currently have there, but the knowledge that it's hard for him to stay healthy for 16 or now 17 games?
Well, right now we're so focused on this year. And the great news is, Phil, it's very optimistic that Tyron's going to be back against the Cardinals. Certainly his injury this year that he's been fighting with his ankle has nothing to do with past injuries. And, it's a part of the game, these injuries. And sometimes you go on a run where you're fortunate and you're able to play consecutive games, consecutive seasons, and other times it seems to bite you. But right now we're so fired up that Tyron's going to be back against Arizona. He brings so much to the table in terms of solidifying that left side, giving Dak confidence to step up in the pocket and make the throws that he needs to make. And to have him back is going to really be a great addition back with this offensive line that I think can only help improve us. As far as anything to do with our future, we'll certainly address that when the season's over. We'll have plenty of time to work through all that. But right now we're just focused on trying to beat the Arizona Cardinals and, have fighting for a championship here and feel like we've got a team that can do that.
I know it can be a little trickier to figure out with COVID, but are you hopeful or anticipating that Jordan Lewis can be ready to roll versus Arizona as well?
A little early in the game, but, so far, I'm sure everybody reads about the different variants that are out there, but it seems like, the current variant, the Omicron, is certainly one that's not, not holding people out as long. We're having players, really come back with a negative test a lot quicker than they did originally when they were getting COVID. So, feel like, there's a great opportunity that we could get Jordan back for this game, but we'll just have to see. Certainly, not in the building yet, but we'll see what the coming, 2, 3, 4, 5 days bring, and hopefully, he'll do what he needs to do to get ready to play. So we'll just see how that goes.
Shout out to you, Forever Runway Fashion Line, smoking on that Washington pack right now. That boy smoking on that Washington pack. That boy over here, boy. Appreciate you, man. Oh my goodness, shout out to you, DT. Thank you for the $2, man, as well. My thing is, J-Rock is a masterpiece, man, being able to play that safety as well as getting down inside to play that sound backer and being able to do his job. Did y'all see how he ran through number 32? Just bam! And said, I'm going to come get you too, quarterback. That boy was crazy, right? Flat out crazy. And it is what it is with Jordan Lewis. Not saying that he would not be missed if he don't show up this game. We just want him to be 100%. Don't want to rush him out there, and he's not. Well, there's no football player. I must correct myself. There's no football player right now that's 100%. You're always battling through something. But far as his conditioning, we don't want him to be out there winded. Because this team, Christian Kirk is no one to sneeze at, and I think his name is Rondale Moore. He's no one to sneeze at. Those boys are quick, elusive wide receivers, and you want to be able to hit that running back too, because he's going to come with the force when he get out to the edge. The name of the game is getting him before he get to the edge, and look for those passes too. You gotta control the hook area, especially inside the slot, and also the Mike linebacker. You gotta be in sync with those boys. So this week practice will be very important. I think it's open to us on Wednesday, so we will be making sure that we read the reports on Wednesday with Jordan Lewis.
I know you probably have more pressing concerns during the game. I don't know if anyone brought it to your attention, and if they haven't, I would like to bring it to your attention. Did you see that in the first quarter, it appeared as though Dak Prescott called an audible by repeatedly saying, Steven, Steven. Did you hear about that?
I haven't heard about that yet.
Steven.
I don't know that I heard it in practice, although there's so much noise going on in practice.
Right.
When the offense is out there, it's hard to hear a lot of anything. But no, I hadn't heard the Steven audible.
Well,
I hope it was a good play.
Well, here's the thing. And I think it could have been a good play. It just didn't work out. It was on that drive that ended a couple plays later in the first touchdown of the game, but it was the botched handoff between Dak and Zeke. So I believe it could have been a good play. It's just the word we like, execution, wasn't quite there. So don't be discouraged by that.
Right.
Well, hopefully we won't take it out of the book, and hopefully we'll run the Steven audible again, and it'll be a positive play.
How jarring is it? I mean, I know it had been building all game, but by the time you get to the end of the game, or quite frankly, 2 plays into the fourth quarter, how jarring is it to see 56 points on the scoreboard?
Well, it's you want to enjoy the moment because you don't see it often. And
Right.
certainly,
Right.
just like last night, everything fell right. The stars aligned. The offense was playing at the top of its game, defense playing at the top of its game, and certainly our special teams stepping up, making a score. Everything came together, and certainly, we have a lot of respect, for the Washington football team organization.
You about to say Redskin.
It was our night, and it was certainly we enjoyed the moment to look up there and see, that we had scored 56 points. And on the flip side of that, it really, for the most part, shut down the Washington's offense. So it was a big night, and certainly we enjoyed it last night, but we got to put it in the rearview mirror and get ready for the Cardinals.
Stephen, it's been 25 years since this organization has hoisted a Super Bowl championship trophy, 25 years since this team's played for an NFC title. Is this the best version of the Cowboys in those 25 years?
Well, we've certainly it's got to be right there. But, we've had some good versions along the way with, with Coach Parcells and Tony and that run he had, certainly with Wade, with Jason. We've had some good football teams that we didn't quite win the games we needed to win. So hopefully, with this version, we can step up and feel good about this group. They seem to enjoy to play together. They have each other's back. We have good depth here when we do have some adversity, just like we did last week, losing Hooker and Jordan Lewis at the last second. Mm-hmm. Guys stepped up, having our second-round pick step up, and Joseph step up and make some big plays for us.
Yeah.
Brown, being the ultimate team guy, moves inside, AB does, and really plays that nickel well. So, that's kind of been the mantra this year. And I just feel like this is a great group of guys that love to play together. We got great leadership, starting with Dak. I think Coach McCarthy certainly has been really good with this team in terms of keeping them fresh, keeping them healthy for the most part, and keeping our team in the right frame of mind. I just think we've got good chemistry right now, and we've got a great opportunity here in front of us. But we have to have urgency. We have to take this one game at a time and take advantage of opportunities, which this team seems to do for the most part this year.
Really appreciate the time, Steven. Obviously, congratulations on winning the division, and congratulations on absolutely dismantling Washington yesterday.
Well, appreciate it, and hope you guys have a happy New Year's, and look forward to visiting with you next week.
That's the good old Steven Jones. Making sense. Shout out to you, Troll Alert. Let them troll. Williams, Asmodeus, appreciate you. Reading some of your comments. D. Schiff says, Philadelphia stalker. All of my ex-girlfriends in middle school and high school still like my Facebook photos and Instagram. So there's nothing wrong with somebody loving you and they can't let go and they still follow you. So that's good. Much love to you, Philadelphia. I know you love me, man. And flattering, but I'm already taken. Trip Aces, unfortunately, yes. Shout out to you. Let's see, making sense. Yeah, laughing out loud. The Washington football team did beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it's about moving the goalposts. But also, context do matter. Shout out to my guy Scott Walker. Would say that from A to Z Sports Dallas. Be sure to check them out too. 25 years is a long time to be in a slump or to be in a spot where you didn't hit your goal. Right? I think that even if you look at it from a biblical aspect, there's certain people that wandered into the wilderness for 40 years. 40! So that's a long time. But they didn't give up. They are persistent. And they eventually made it. Not saying that this is going to be 40 years, but I'm quite sure, steadfast and stand firm in what you believe in, Cowboy Nation, and everything will work its way out. Now, not saying that the Almighty is looking at this particular game that we play for sports and say, okay, I would like to just let this team win because they have pure and true faith. But what I'm saying is that you focus on something that you believe in and you support it, right? So that's why we are the Dallas Cowboys. And that's why we are one of the better fan bases out here. That's why Cowboys content across YouTube is kicking everybody else's content out there because Cowboys rule everything that we do. We are the catalyst, to everything that people do. We go buy benches. Hey, other teams say, hey, we want to buy benches. We get brand endorsements, individual brand endorsements so that people can wear Nike apparel and beyond. Then every other organization do that. We build big old stadiums and use revenue sharing so that other people that's not of the same caliber can do such. Then, bam, they get new stadiums like the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, the Vegas Stadium, and beyond. So that is what football is supposed to be about. It's a game. It's a sport. It's growth, and it's just what it is. This is the entertainment business, basically. But neither here nor there. What better success line or storyline would be for us to go through all of these years, for those who's faithful and loyal, who stick with your team, and then when they lift that Lombardi, you can say, man, I never shook. I never backpedaled. You know what I'm saying? I never folded like a wallet or a lawn chair or like J-Rock did to that guy that he played against the other night, 32. J-Rock folded that boy up like one of those, y'all know those little vanilla lawn chairs. Oh, no, folding chairs. You know that folding chairs they pull out for the picnic? They folded that brother up. I said, good. And then he got off of him. He got off of him and still made the tackle for the quarterback. I said, man, boy. Yeah, D. Schiff said he never switched up. Shout out to you, Cole. Appreciate you. Let everybody troll. This is our victory. I get it, We just don't be to their pages, you know what I'm saying? All right, so let's keep it rolling. Speaking of trolling, let's listen to, I think I got it right here. This was a good episode because I can hear the narrative being shifted. And it's the same narrative from earlier that morning. So Archo, he was able to listen, I guess, to the morning show and put his 2 to 3 cents in. So I got to get somebody that I can slap on. So let's go. All right, so well, that analogy, I like it, though. Not saying it just because of the Cowboys. But if you passing the jar around to 5 people or 3 people and they can't open it up, hey, man, I don't want to kick it with those boys anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I refuse to pass the jar to somebody else. I'm going to figure out a way to open up that jar off of principles, off of man law. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's man law right there. Ain't that right, Cowboy Nation? You know what I'm saying? I feel good when my wife hand me that jar, and she said, honey, open this jar up, and I start flexing before. I know for sure I'm not finna pass it to nobody else. She say, baby, can you open this up for me? Shoot. Out of man law. I'm just possible, I'm gonna be like, yo, I got you, baby. even if I have to lie to kick it. I hope she ain't watching. I said, damn, God dog it. I will go buy a whole nother jar and go, yeah, baby, I got it. Man law, baby. Look, I can't refuse to say, well, baby, I can't do it. I'm going to pass it to somebody else or pass it to my brother who somehow could just visit him for the weekend and say, all right, dog, I got you. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. No. That's man law right there, Cowboy Nation. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be papping the bottle. I'm going to be like, let me use my shirt. Baby, just don't worry about it. No, boo. I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to figure out a way to pop that thing open. Even if I have to bust the glass and blame it on the manufacturer. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get in that jar. You know what I'm saying, Cowboy Nation? That's man law. You don't pass it. Somebody said, nah, law, just take the L. You can't open it up. No, I'm going to figure it out. Can't open it. Oh, slipped out of my head, baby. It landed on the ground. I'm going to go to the store and get you another one. Man law. Yeah, but I'm going to open up that jar. I'm going to figure it out, I hope you guys had a wonderful time, man, on this Victory Monday. I had a great time talking to you guys about our everything, being close and secure with everything. We talked about manhood. We talked about what they should have used for the analogy. It takes 1,000 years to build trust and 1 second to lose it. Right. And Chef Max said pride. Yeah, pride cometh before the fall. But I'm going to make sure that jar fall out of my hand if I can't get it open. Man, baby, my hand's wet right now. Give me a towel or something. We're going to strong arm that thing open one way or another, Cowboy Nation. And that's right, Williams. Appreciate you. We're going to figure it out. We open up. The jar is open, though. It is just so happened that the Washington football team was on the other end of that jar being open. We got to play against the Cards, which used to be in the NFC East. Y'all remember that? Who remember the Cardinals being in the NFC East? And truth be told, if we were to go to Arizona, there would have been so many Cowboy fans there, by the way. There are a lot of Cowboy fans in Arizona. But although this would be a home game, we should see a lot of sea of blue and white jerseys represent Cowboy Nation. Tez Pitts, Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake. We made it to the playoff that year, and they gave us an L. I'll never forget that one. And what year was that? 2000 or 01, something like that. And he did the remarkable game against us. And I'll never forget it. Aeneas Williams, y'all remember? Y'all got some good memory. Yep. Who was a wide receiver that was pretty good? Let me know of the wide receiver. But, and this before Larry Fitzgerald and all of those boys. Cowboy Nation, Emmett finished his game with a -6 yards rushing. Oh, wow. Scott Simpkins, man, my dog. Man, my ex was stronger than a mug. She used to hit me. Oh, my goodness. Evander Holyfield looking helpful. Hey. Scott, man, be careful, man. She may be watching. Frank Sanders, he was pretty good. David Boston, he was pretty good. Man, Scott, you better watch out. She may be still watching, though, Yep. Kevin Joseph gave up a -2 yards pass. He came down and field on one of those plays, Cowboy Nation. He's just been remarkable. I can't wait to see him next year, see what they're going to do with him, with this team. Jake Plummer, Larry Centers, Ooh, y'all bring back some old memories, man. Anquan Bolden, baby. Yeah. Cowboy Nation. We survived this moment. We made it all the way to this time of this week, of this season. I come here to tell you, they big mad, Law. Yeah, 11-4. Shout out to you, Nicole. I want it all, and we can do it. I think we can beat the Cards. We on, Law. Yeah, we open up them jaws. Appreciate you, Nicole. Pat Tillman, yeah. May he rest in peace. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or lied about. Don't deal in lies or hate it and yet give way to hate it. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think, and don't make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped, to be built again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all of your winnings or earnings, to risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, to lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe one word of your loss. If you can walk with kings and presidents, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes or loving friends can harm you. Cowboy Nation, listen, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, Cowboy Nation, you have unlocked the true meaning of what it takes to be a champion, what it takes to be a man if you can unlock that jaw, right? More importantly, out of all of those things that I'm saying, Cowboy Nation, you have unlocked the true meaning of what it takes to be a warrior and a man. Cowboy Nation, stand tall to your feet. Stand firm in what you believe in. Don't fold up like a wallet or a lawn chair. That's what the opposition wants you to do. Don't lose sight of what's going on now. We are doing something great. Like Tony the Tiger would say, right? Great. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Y'all standing tall, baby. Law, you still standing tall? Yeah.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo.
Before we go any further, there was a certain situation that we got to give credence to. One more time. It's a doggone shame what they did to the bitch. It's a dog shame what they did to him. Hey, we up out of here. One love. Be sure to hit that like button. Share this everywhere. Let that friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. The next victim, Cards. Let's get them.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in.
Come on.
Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you.
And you. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to you, Dwight. Shout out to you, Beast, Texas. Pete, appreciate you. Shout out to everybody. Tim, Steven, and Mac on the Facebook.
Don't let the
street lights hit you.
Can I be your player too? I'll follow.
Good vibes on
Wherever
it.
you go.
Kill your team is 11-4, put down 11-4 in the chat. If your team going to be 12-4, put 12-4 in the chat. Got that one?
7 more and another one.
And another one.
And another one.
Yeah.
Fighting you was the one I lost. 7 wonders all in one. All in one.
Tell them.
Don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
Go watch some football
You know
tonight.
it's dangerous to go alone.
One love to y'all. I really do love you. Shout out to you, Ted, John, Tony, and Noble. Go watch some Game of Thrones right now. Waiting for the all 22 to come out.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far.
17-4. Let's get it, Cowboys vet.
So far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Y'all go raid Okoye's channel, man. Tell him, hey, Law Nation said, let's go. 12-4. Let's go, baby. We out of here. Peace.